Hey there, my name's Kayla, and this is my series I call Movies with a Message, where I break down some of my favorite movies through a personal growth and spirituality lens, because it's the way I would have wanted explained to me back when I was at the beginning of my personal transformation journey. So we're talking about how Encanto is basically the blueprint for learning how to heal generational trauma. If you didn't watch part 1, go ahead and watch it now. I'll link it in the info card above my head. But we're going to get into why Peppa's children's gifts are all trauma responses stemming from having a parent with unpredictable emotions. I know, it's deep. It's gotten deep. Starting with Dolores. Dolores has the gift of being able to hear things even from a mile away. In my opinion, this is a form of hypervigilance. She can hear anything, and she is the family's secret keeper, probably because she always had to be on the lookout for anything that may set her mom's emotions off. Camilo is the shapeshifter, or in my opinion, the people pleaser. He has the job of shifting into whoever he needs to be to make somebody laugh. Probably because if his mom got overwhelmed by her emotions, he had to be the de-escalator. And little Antonio is the nurturer, but he is also the escapist. He hides under his bed, he communes with animals, and his room is the biggest, meaning that he probably has a giant inner world. And then last but not least, there's Bruno, who's the black sheep, the scapegoat of the family. He's a little different, a little superstitious, and his gift is psychic foresight. He has visions. His room is full of sand, which is a spiritual symbol of the passage of time. You can also argue that Bruno is a healer himself because he can see the cracks in the foundation, even if he may not know what to do about it. And I'm breaking all these down to say to you generational healers out there that the effects of trauma can be extremely negative and have lasting negative effects. But that does not mean that great strengths cannot come out of your family line as a result of that trauma. Like in the example I mentioned in part 1, there may have been a trauma in your family line that caused your family to go without. But because of that, they probably also gained resourcefulness, perseverance, and inner strength. So as the family designated generational healer, you are going to have to use your discernment. You're going to have to look at your family and see what strengths have been passed down and what needs to be shed. So if the first step is to opt in and the next step is to use your discernment, the step that comes next in healing generational trauma is to recognize your role. This is the stepping into your power phase. It's the journey where you realize how much power you actually have. For Mirabelle, this is when she finds Bruno's vision. She recognizes how big of a role she actually plays in her family's legacy. And when she does, she kind of sees it as a negative thing at first because on the surface, it appears to be the reason why everything is going to break down. Because when she realizes this role and she can't keep it a secret anymore and the whole family finds out, that's when everyone's gifts start to go haywire. After that, she's led to where Bruno has been all of these years that he's been away. Spoiler, he never left. Been in the house the whole time. He's been hiding in the cracks, patching up the cracks in the foundation. And this is when Mirabelle teams up with Bruno to get more clarity. And she gets it, not only from the person that can see the future, but who also knows the past. This is another essential part of generational healing because older family members can kind of paint a picture of what you weren't around to see. But even if you can't contact older relatives or your family holds on to a lot of secrets that they don't want you to know, you can still heal this generational trauma, okay? As the family's generational healer, energy transmuter, you are going to have to shed these expectations. You have to remove these expectations that were placed on you before you had a say. We can see Mirabelle do this through her sisters. She helps them drop the weight of who they're expected to be, and by shedding the weight of expectation on herself that she can only help by staying out of the way. So now, you as the generational healer, you've shed the expectations, you stepped into your personal power, you feel lighter and more energized and ready to take on the world. Things seem like they're on the up and up. Even at this point, Mirabelle and Isabella are celebrating. They see that the cracks in the foundation are patching up. But after Abuela finds out that Mirabelle has been helping them shed these expectations, the house falls anyway, leaving them devastated. It's like, if they've done all this work, why would the house fall? And you personally, if you've done all this work, finding your personal power and releasing expectations, why might you still be feeling pushback and rejection from your family? Well, it's because the house was always meant to fall. If you notice, the Madrigal family candle, Mirabelle's dress, and Bruno's vision all have butterfly symbols in them, a well-known spiritual symbol of rebirth. In a rebirth, everything is removed so that it can be built back stronger. It is literally your darkest moment. Mirabel feels as though she will never be good enough for her abuela because her abuela acts out of fear, and Mirabel represents the one thing that she fears the most. The fear that the miracle will disappear as quickly as they got it. The miracle was conceived out of the fear and the pain of losing her husband. And when a miracle like that, a gift like that, is built on a foundation of fear, you will always fear losing it. And in order to have something long-lasting, built from love, happiness, and abundance, you have to build it up from the foundation. When healing generational trauma, the rebirth requires those old feelings that your ancestors felt to resurface so that they can then be addressed and transmuted. And you can move forward with a clean slate. Abuela joins Mirabel at the lake, and they have to go back to the place that she never thought she would have to return to. Not just the location where they first received the miracle, but to the emotional state. These two sit with the pain and the trauma that created the miracle in the first place. But instead, this time, they're doing it while they're safe. Mirabel feels the pain with her, and then they step into the water in the lake. Doing this, they cleanse and purify the past. Mirabel is able to empathize with her, and then the pain washes away. Something I like about this movie is that during the rebirth, the emphasis on community is especially prevalent. The whole community that they've served for years comes together and helps them rebuild their casita. And the Madrigals are able to start over on a fresh foundation and keep all their gifts. I was happy that community was emphasized in the movie because healing generational trauma can be a very isolating experience. And you might be feeling like you have to move through it and rebuild alone. But honestly, finding community can seriously help lighten the load. As someone who personally doesn't ask for help until the last minute, I know that asking for help can be 10 times more relieving when I finally get the courage to do it. I made this video so that you know that there is a community out there for you. One that might even be going through the same things. Even if it's on social media or even here on YouTube, you don't have to go through it alone. It's okay to have someone help you carry that load. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love the last one I did about how Disney's Moana can help you heal your heart chakra. You can watch it right here. And as always, I'm sending love and healing your way. Bye.